What's up, guys? Keyshawn Ochia here, back at you with another alternate universe What If. Now, this is going to be quite, you could say, a 18 only. Well, 18 plus. I'm gonna put 3 plus because this is going to be extra spicy, and I should give out a quick spoiler warning. I'm gonna give a quick spoiler warning to everybody. So, here goes. Caution, this contains sex, extra sex, foul language, and extra sex. So, if you're not 18 or older, get the F out the kitchen. Or get the fuck out the kitchen because it's about to be spicy in here. Now, since I gave out the wardens, well, all the wardens and stuff, let's continue. Now, this is going to be what if Deku had a gender bender quirk? Now, how would this work? How would this happen? And what would Deku do with this quirk? Well, we're going to start pretty much with the Deku being born and with the babies. Now, Deku did not end up with the doctors, end up with the doctor who takes away quirks, you could say, taking away kids' quirks. Deku ended up in another hospital, so that's good. But as Deku's growing, he grows up as you could say as a genderless or a gender with both sides of body parts as female and male. Now I know what you're thinking. Female and male? That means he has a penis and tits and a penis and a vagina? Does he have both and he also have tits? Yes. Yes, he does. He really does. And there's no going back. We're continuing the story. Now, Deku was pretty much born and he grows. Now, Inko don't know to treat her son or daughter as a boy or a girl, so she just calls her. She just pretty much leave her genderless because she has both parts, girl parts and boy parts. And regular Inko doesn't tell no one, and prefer to have her daughter just be, you could say, genderless. Now, as Deku was born into the world and meet friends with Bakugo. Now, you could say Deku is friends with Bakugo, but Deku, Deku is, you could say, as not as a boy or not as a girl. So Bakugo has mixed feelings. As you could say, as Bakugo has a liking to Deku, but he doesn't know how to feel. But Deku treats Bakugo as a friend, you could say. Now, as they're growing, Bakugo turns into a dick, as usual, and pretty much begins to mess with Deku. Hold on. Sorry, let's continue. Now, pretty much Deku is born into the world. Well, not sorry. Pretty much Deku is growing up in Bakugo, and Bakugo and Deku kind of went on their separate ways, but they still, you could say, live next to each other. Now, Bakugo is pretty much a bag to Deku wherever he gets the chance to do. And this is where Bakugo bullies, we're gonna say, a nerd. A nerd. Which, this is not the start of the anime, but they're in the school now. This is where Deku is getting mad and pretty much saying, alright, since you want to keep making fun of me of being a half boy girl, because everybody knows about Deku condition about being a boy and a girl having both parts, but no one regularly don't judge Deku except for Bakugo. He's the only guy who does it, and Deku had enough of that shit. So what does Deku do? Pretty much trying to figure out how to get Bakugo back down. As now, I should say Deku knows about his quirk, about genders or gender. Well, gender. You could say gender bender, pretty much. That's the quirk name. And she knows she knows that he, yeah, we're just gonna say she knows that he has her. We're just gonna say her with, but you're gonna say she has the body parts of a guy. Now she knows that Deku knows that she has the court, and she did it once before by accident. By accident, because we're gonna say when Inko uh, was pretty much asking Deku if her was alright, she would say no, and we're gonna say she had a period, which it's more painful than usual. We're gonna say a little bit painful, but not painful because, like I said, to have two parts of the female, have the female part slash the boy part, so it has both, and it's pretty much painful. Now, pretty much, you could say this is where Nico is trying to see if her daughter's alright, and this is where Deku pushes her and pretty much accidentally touches her and turn her into a guy. Now, Nico realizes that she's a man and saying, "What the?" And they head to the doctor. Now, the doctor's pretty much saying, "Huh, I see. So you have a quirk called gender bender. So I'm guessing basic, basically you have a quirk where you can change someone's gender where you feel like it. And I'm guessing you can have them to do whatever you want them to do, and they're like they haven't permanently stuck to you because we're gonna say Inko was about to, you could say, molest her own daughter or daughter son, you could say, and Deku Harry can change Inko back and had her to stop, told her to stop, which Inko stopped. Now this is where we go back into the middle school and Deku's trying to look around and think what was how is she supposed to get back Bakugo? Now, this is where a nerd gets bullied by another person who gets bullied by Bakugo a lot, and he's pretty much pissed off, trying to figure out how to get back at Bakugo too. Now, this is where they meet up with each other. You could say bumping each other, and Deku, Deku and the nerd look at each other. Now, they're pretty much, you could say, talking to each other and forming a plan to with each other to figure out how to deal with Bakugo. Now, this is where the nerd says, "Oh, well, do you have any ideas?" Which Deku, remember, just says, "Oh, I have an idea. I'll turn you into a girl, and then we can blackmail him to do whatever we want him to do." Which you could say the nerd is saying, "You can do that? You could change my gender?" Which Deku, she says, "Yeah." Now, pretty much this is where Deku touches the nerd, and the nerd begins to and starts to transform into a girl. Now, she looks pretty much into a mirror that Deku has, and she sees that she's a girl and saying, "Will this work? Will he fall? Like, will he fall for this?" Which Deku's pretty much says, "Oh, he's gonna fall for it. Trust me. If it's one thing about it, he likes to do girls. He likes sex for girls." Now, this is where you could say the nerd goes and X Deku out on a date with all the boys around him are saying, "Ooh," and she's faking out doing the blushing and stuff, and you could say stuff happened. You could say that Bakugo says, "Yeah." Now they pretty much go out on a date, and Deku was following them on a date, and this is where Bakugo they head to a hotel, and Bakugo is pretty much having sex with her now. Bakugo is pretty much sucking on the titties, and biting, you could say, kissing her neck and stuff, and putting his penis in the vagina and going in and out, and the nerd is pretty much moaning and stuff and saying yes and all that. Now this is where Bakugo done nut in the sauce. They're pretty much, lays. Now the nerd takes a picture the whole situation and stuff, and pretty much blackmails. Pretty much says, I got the picture thing. Now, this is where she leaves the hotel and goes to Deku and says, I got the picture. And Deku says, good job. Now, this is where the nerd girl pretty much, like I said, whoever gets touched by the gender bending quirk, they pretty much is dedicated to Deku and also wants to woohoo Deku. So they would do anything to want to have sex. Now, this is where the nerd pretty much kisses Deku, and she's pretty much saying, what was that for her? Which she's pretty much saying, shh. It says, now, as is you promise, which Deku was confused and saying, I didn't promise on anything, which he says, you promised to have sex with me, which this is where, this is another 18 warning part, so this is about to be spicy, so I recommend not listening further, but if you're still here, stay tuned. This is where she begins to pull down Deku's pants, and like I said, you remember, she's genderless with two body parts, a vagina and penis, so this is where the nerd girl begins to suck Deku off. Now, this is where Deku is trying to push her away, but she can't resist because this is where she does nuts in the face. Now, this is where Deku pulls up her, you could say, panties, and begins to, well, walk away. This nerd girl follows her behind, saying, you want to go for round two, which Deku is saying no, but secretly she wants round two. Now, next day, we're gonna say the next day, pretty much Bakugo sees a picture, sees a picture in his locker, saying, I have proof of you doing that nerd guy, which he remembers about the nerd, is saying, that was him, which he feels sick to his stomach that he just had sex with the nerd now, and realized that Deku has something to do with it. Now, this is where Bakugo pretty much is saying, what do you want from me, you nerd? Which Deku says, oh, nothing, just meet me at the hotel. After we have our 10 months break, which Bakugo says, whatever. Now, we're gonna do the start of the anime, and pretty much the teacher walks in, and Deku is like smiling at Bakugo, which Bakugo doesn't know what's going to happen. Now, the teacher does the whole announcement and says, oh, there's only two people who wants to go to UA, and it's Mizuka Midoriya and Bakugo. Now, everybody's, saying, oh wow, okay. And they don't know what Deku quirk is, but they're saying, we know he has a quirk, but, she and some of them were confused, saying, he? And then she says, please, just call me genderless, which they said, well, the genderless is pretty much gonna go there too. Now, after school, no one takes the shortcut. No one pretty much takes the shortcut. Actually, no. This is where Deku takes the shortcut to the alley, and this is where you could say the sludge villain attacks Deku. Now, Deku pretty much, and we're gonna say this is a rapey sludge villain, a rapey female sludge villain who rapes guys and girls. Now, this is where the sludge villain is hopping on Deku and begins to try like, you could say villain. Now, this is where the sludge villain realized that, wait a minute, this is a guy, and he says, wait a minute, it's a girl and a guy. And this is where Deku touched a part of the sludge villain. It starts to fix the sludge villain quirk. Now, he turns the sludge villain into a female, and she's pretty much saying, what did you do to me? Begins to, you could say, moan. Now, this is where Deku says, I'm about to teach you about how to not to rape people, and begins to penetrate the sludge villain. Now, the sludge villain, she begins to moan and saying no more because she's not in pain, but she's enjoying it. And Deku begins to continue going. Now this is where Deku, she nuts all over the Sledgehammer, and the Sledgehammer passed out. And her quirk is pretty much fixed. I forgot to tell you, the gender bender quirk can fix quirks and wounds and stuff. Now, this is where All Might comes in and says, I am here, and pretty much looks and says, oh, what the, and sees, you could say, a Sledgehammer coming and come, and pretty much have nut in her vagina, pretty much out in the ground. Now, this is where Deku looks at All Might and says, oh hey All Might, you're here, which All Might is looking and saying, what happened here, which she's pretty, Deku does, well, All Might doesn't know that Deku is a guy, or a guy girl, you could say. It's pretty much saying, what happened, Miss, which she's pretty much saying she doesn't know, she just saw the Sledgehammer like that, which All Might says it's okay and pretty much captures the Sledgehammer and heads off. Now, All Might is confused, thinking and saying, did she have something to do with this? It pretty much says, I have to find her later. Now, this is where Deku heads to the hotel, and Bakugo's already there at the hotel. Now, as pretty much all you could as pretty much okay, sorry, I'm kind of just short because I saw a big ass spider, but as Deku is waiting at the hotel in the hotel room, Bakugo heads in there and says, alright, what do you want? Mizuku, and pretty much touches Bakugo, making him hit the ground, and his body starts to transform into a woman. Now, Bakugo wakes up, pretty much tied up to the bed, and she now is asking, what the hell did she do to her? And she's saying, oh, this is a little payback for what you did to all those kids, and also bullied me. And I realized you hated gender people. This is where Deku begins to penetrate Bakugo's vagina. Now, Bakugo is not in pain at the same stop. She's actually enjoying it because, like I said, whoever gets touched by the gender quirk begins to get horny for Deku. You could say. Now, as Deku penetrating her and going in and out and sucking her tits and stuff, and making her wet even more. This is where Bakugo begins to generate milk, because the gender bender quirk does have its properties to cause things to happen. Now, Deku is saying, wow, I didn't know you was a cow who carried milk, which Bakugo says, I don't know where the milk come from, and begins to go in and out. Now this is where Deku done nuts in the vagina and pretty much takes out and nuts on Bakugo's body. Now, this is where Bakugo has her tongue out and pretty much passed out from that over-gestured sex. Now Deku is pretty much walking up and saying, let's do this, getting some time. And pretty much walks out. Now, as she's walking, as you could say Deku's walking, she's pretty much walking back home, and this is where All Might stops her. I say, did something happen did you do something to that Sludge villain? Which Deku looks and says, no, I haven't did anything to such. I just saw it like that, which All Might feels like something up. And he pretty much trying to see what she has. Now, this is where she says, well, how about come to the beach and train with me? And she says, oh, I'd love to train with the number one hero, All Might. Now, as Deku getting home, she wakes up the next day and pretty much heads to the beach she pretty much heads to the beach and begins to go. Now, Deku wears shorts. You could say wears shorts and has shoes and pretty much has a short shirt. Begins to head to the beach. Because like I said, Deku has the tits and the ass, and also the male body part down there, and the female body part. So if you can imagine that, I'm so sorry that you have an imagination like me. I have an imagination like that too. But let's continue the story. Pretty much, Deku is at the beach saying, "I'm ready, All Might," which All Might's saying, "All right, well, I want you to move this beach stuff and move the recycling and get them all off," which Deku says, "Okay." Now, as Deku's doing the work, All Might, you could say All Might is a little bit of a perv in this ultimate universe, and getting a little bit hard, you could say. No. Yeah, he's a little pervy, but never touch a child or anything, or a girl. No. This is where Deku is, could say half of the, on the 3 months is pretty much almost up. Now All Might is saying, so what happens, and Deku is pretty much explaining what happened and stuff and how she saw it, which All Might saying, "Don't lie to me," and pretty much trying to grab Deku. Now Deku pretty much touches All Might, and All Might begins to transform into a woman. Now All Might is saying, "What the hell?" And this is where Deku says, "Shit," and All Might puts it together and realized that the Sudrill kind of got creamed by Deku. Now, or becomes on by Deku now. All Might pretty much pushes Deku on the ground and begins to pull down Deku's pants and lift up Deku's bra and stuff. Now, this is where you could say All Might is, you could say raping Deku. And Deku's saying, "I can't believe it. I'm about to get raped by the number 1 hero, All Might, as a female." Now, All Might's pretty much rides on Deku's, you could say, penis, and pretty much is riding her. Well, her, you could say. Sorry. Pretty much is riding her. And this is where Deku nuts in the sauce in All Might. Now, All Might pretty much is in someone pretty much begins to suck female Deku. Well, you could say genders Deku off and make sure to clean the penis. Now, as Deku is laying on the beach, she says, "Wow, I can't believe she just did that to me." Now, All Might is laying beside him. By Deku is saying that she doesn't care if she's about to go jail stuff. She loves her too much, and basically saying that's the best sex she ever had for a while. Now, Deku is pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for round 2," and you could say they do a round 2. Now, for the end of the month, Deku could say get a Quirk. Well, got a Quirk, and it's 1 for all. Now, Deku is pretty much about to go, and this is where you could say All Might comes in and pretty much starts to pull Deku back in and kisses. You could say tongue kiss, and tells the good luck out there for the entrance team, which Deku says okay, and smiles and begins to head off. Now, this is part 1 of what if Deku has a gender bender quirk. If you like, let's get this up to 100 likes, and I'll do another part 2. I will do a part 2, okay? But I'm Keishan Shia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.